Welcome to 512 Degrees, everybody, the podcast where we dive deep into the stories of chefs, artists, athletes, and influencers. Join us as we explore their extraordinary lives and uncover the secret ingredients behind their success. Today, we're thrilled to share with you one of our very special conversations from the Texas Monthly BBQ Festival from Lockhart, Texas. We teamed up with our friends at Goodstock by Nolan Ryan to delve into the stories and journeys of four legendary Texas pitmasters. Let's dive in. Awesome. Travis, welcome to 512 Degrees. This is a special episode. This is our first ever live podcast taping, so I'm excited that you're our first guest. We are in this beautiful Goodstock space at the Texas Monthly BBQ Festival on this Saturday, November 2nd. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me out here. It's a pleasure.
Excited to have you. You came in from Austin today, or you
To Texas.
Nice. You've been to this festival before?
I haven't been to the Saturday one. It's amazing out here, but I have gone to the Top 50 festival before. It's good to be here.
Really fun atmosphere. I think the weather's cool and we're not sweating, so that's nice. So I'm gonna hit you with like the big question right now, okay? How is, everyone thinks of Texas barbecue and they think of it as maybe a monolith, right? Oh, it's Texas barbecue, but different parts of Texas has different styles of barbecue. And so talk to me about Central barbecue. What makes it unique compared to, other parts of the state?
Yeah, Central Texas barbecue. It stemmed from butchering, and it's the offcuts, the tough, big, massive beef cuts that just would not sell throughout the week. And so they found a way to make it servable. They smoked it, put some salt, maybe a little pepper and cayenne, sold it to the public.
And so what cut is that again?
It could either be shoulder clawed, brisket. It could be a form of steaks, ribs, and of course sausages. Sausages is the main thing that all butchery people live off of.
And what was your first exposure to that style of barbecue?
Honestly, it was a family thing. We made it in the backyard for special events. It's just one of those things. I just thought it was a normal thing, and the more you got older, you realize how special it was, and how hard or how special it is to make it for the people you love around you and family. So,
Do you remember what age you were when you gave it a shot personally?
I mean, people told me when I was, I can't even remember, probably 3, and I would scream, barbecue night, barbecue night. So it was just, I guess from even that age, I thought I knew it was special. I just didn't realize how special it was.
And when did the first seed of like, hey, this may be something I could do for a living? When was that planted, and when did you start thinking about that?
Well, in 2009, I just, I realized one day I was just sitting there and it's like, man, my father's the one that did the whole barbecue thing for the family. I was like, what happens if he can't do it no more, or something happens to him? So I just popped in my head. It was like, I think it's time I learned this. So it was just out of a hobby and then turned into a career after that.
Was your first shot at it when you were like a kid, for example? Were you a prodigy? You got it right the first time, or you had some burnt ones that you had to throw out? Or tell me about that.
Yeah, I was 17 when I had that. And then, no, it took me about a good 2 years. This is before the whole barbecue boom. No videos, no real solid books about how to do it right. So I just practiced as much as I could. I was a kid, so I had a job, and the little money I made, I bought a brisket, bought a rib, played with some sausage, and see how good I could make it.
And did you work any jobs outside of the food and barbecue industry, or no? It was something that you were passionate about from a kid and you just kind of transitioned into it?
Yeah, no, I did food industry my whole life. It was either barbecue or fine dining in the restaurants. So
Really cool. So today you're at Mom Foods out of Austin. For someone listening that maybe isn't from Austin or has never been, tell us about that.
yeah, Mum Foods is a Jewish deli with Central Texas style barbecue mashed together. So it's the best of both worlds. It's just the honorary tradition of Jewish delicatessen You can get a nice pastrami sandwich, matzo ball soup. And then if you don't feel that, the person you come in with, you just want just a big old tray of nice, delicious barbecue. We have that too.
Yeah. Are you personally from the Jewish tradition or one of the team members there, or no? It just kind of came about, just like, hey, let's do something different.
Yeah, no, I'm not I'm not Jewish, but I was given the opportunity by our owner, Jeff Ellis. He had the Jewish side. He's the Jewish aspect of the business, and he's like, we need to get this Texas barbecue side going, and let's make it as best as we can together. And I feel like we made a good team so far.
Yeah. How? When did you join the team?
I joined the team about 3 years ago. Right, we were opening up our brick and mortar. We're from the farmers markets. He did that forever, and he decided we need to make this a permanent thing. So he brought me on.
Okay. So you got involved as soon as there was like a physical space you could go to on a day-to-day basis.
Correct.
Yeah. So someone, shows up and they don't know what to order. What would you suggest at your spot that they order?
Well, yeah. So if you come with two people, I mean, our classic thing everybody comes in for is our full pastrami sandwich, the whole thing. See the mountain of meat inside, two pieces of sourdough rye. Get that matzo ball soup that everyone loves to just dig into, and then you get just that classic, three meat plate. You get your brisket, sausage, and ribs, and one of our sides, and just share it among each other. And it's just you just feel the how well those two combined.
You're making me hungry right now. Did you bring some with you?
Yeah, I should have.
What when someone shows up that hasn't ever been to Foods, are they kind of shocked by the diversity of flavors and things that they can get? What's that reaction like? Because I meant it's not your everyday barbecue spot. What's that reaction like?
Yeah. So I mean, everyone just thinks of like the classic New York deli, or maybe just a standard barbecue place. But like the whole concept was, can we take a Jewish deli and make it modernized, but still holding the classic tradition of it, putting a little more flavor, a little more techniques into it. And then the same with the barbecue. Uh, we keep it as classic and traditional as possible, but we push the trimming, the techniques, the smoking of how smoky or how little smoke, how wrapped or unwrapped. We just try to improve every single day on both of those.
Really cool. I personally haven't been, but after all those descriptions, I might drive after this podcast taping. So we are at this barbecue festival, and you said you've been here in the past, not Saturday, but on Sundays. For someone who's never been here, or maybe haven't even been to Texas, describe the scene to them. I mean, you look around and there's various barbecue spots everywhere. How would you describe it?
Yeah, honestly, I just see a whole bunch of people, good loving, barbecue loving people out here, just biggest smiles on their face, wanting to try every part of Texas barbecue. I mean, the weather may be, not as sunny or bright, but they look as happy as ever out here. It's good to be out here.
Yeah, you just see smoke, coming out from various cookers, and it's you feel like you're at home in the middle of Texas. And what I see is community, and I think when it comes to barbecue, community is a big part. Whether it's at Mom Foods, I imagine you guys are a team and a family and whatnot. But then even amongst pitmasters, and then you think of like the Austin community, Central Texas community. Tell me about why you think that community aspect is so strong, particularly in barbecue and Central Texas barbecue.
I think it's mostly because, it wasn't not so much, it wasn't a serious thing, but it was more of like you made it for everybody that you loved in your family, or just the city came together for a special day. And I think that carried on into as it evolved over the years. And the barbecue people, the in every place came together, talk, friends, really carried on that tradition.
Yeah, and even for you, as you mentioned, it started out as a young kid, and it was all about family and thinking of your father, and that translated into what you do today. Um, we were doing some research on you, and you're apparently known for your hot and fast style of barbecue. Tell me what that is.
Yeah, so on the normal days at Mum Foods, we do the classic modern low and slow barbecue that everyone loves. We push the boundaries of that, but we try to do once every couple months, pop-up nights, dinner nights where we do hot and fast to honor the old school, the traditional Central Texas barbecue style, really hot and fast. You know, I either go back and forth of the two styles of a lot of pepper or a little pepper, so everyone can see, the different styles within itself of Central Texas back in the day. And it's really special when people come in and be like, "Oh, I remember this," or "Oh, I've never tried the hot and fast because no one really does it that much." But we're here in Lockhart, which they give credit to invented the hot and fast. So it's good to be here. Talk about hot and fast.
So for someone who's never heard of that before, what is fast? What kind of time are we thinking?
Um, it's a good question, actually. I would say as long as you can keep it under 6 hours of every single cut of meat that you cook, I would say that's considered fast. I know some places would say 4 to 6. Just anytime under 6 hours is good.
And once again, for imagine someone's never been involved in the barbecue world, what does a normal kind of traditional cook time take?
So the modern barbecue, Central Texas or around the state is usually between, I would say 10 and 14 is about the average. So it's definitely double the amount of time. So it just depends, you want to spend that much time or not. But equally as good though, I will say.
Yeah. So I imagine there's going to be a lot of folks that are inspired by your story and what you did, and they're going to be like, "Hey, I'm going to make some brisket and barbecue in my home or in my backyard." How do they get that start? Is it YouTube videos? Is it like a book? Is it just trying random stuff? What would you say to them?
I would love to say there's a book or a YouTube video to watch, but honestly, the best advice is you just repetition, repetition, repetition. You're gonna make some bad food, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be one of the best things you eat because you made it yourself.
Yeah. Um, Say I wanted to be like your apprentice, and like starting tomorrow, I'm going to go to work with you every day and learn everything you want to show me. How long do you think it would take for me to like make the most average, piece of brisket? Would it be something like a few months, a day? Obviously not a day, but like how long would that take, you think?
I mean, if you're involved in the trimming, the seasoning, the pulling, the cooking, and the resting, I would say now, modern days, if you came on, it would take a good year to get to what people would consider very high level.
Now I'm sitting at home and I kind of want to learn and try and whatnot. What equipment would you say is a minimum that you need at home to be able to, at least make some average barbecue?
For backyard barbecue, because the barbecue pits are not that big, I'm a fan of charcoal to start as your base. And then after that, only use wood from there. It's very hard to make a coal bed in a small pit without starting it on fire sometimes. But honestly, you just need some charcoal, some wood, good quality piece of meat, and some salt, and you could do magic stuff with that. Just that stuff alone.
Yeah, so it doesn't seem like it's like crazy investment where you have to buy something shiny and super expensive. It's really just getting the basic foundational ingredients right and going from there.
Correct.
Awesome. Do you still cook barbecue at home for your family? Or are you so tired of it that you kind of stay away from it at home?
No, I still cook at home.
Yeah.
I still dabble in the other, uh, Texas style barbecue. So it may be offset, maybe direct heat or the hot and fast method as we talked about. So I try to keep it as interesting and switch through it as much as I can. Keep my knowledge up.
Yeah. What non-barbecue foods do you cook, if any, that you think you're good at?
Hmm. Well, my mom is Hispanic, so I've always cooked, you know, Tex-Mex, Mexican food my whole life. So I take great, pleasure in making that the most and putting as much passion as I can in that. So I would say definitely that for sure.
Really cool. So you all were nominated as 2024 James Beard finalists. What was that like?
It was great. It was good to be recognized as as a team that you can have two different cooking food in one restaurant and create it to one homogeneous wonder that it could be recognized by the country and our state, and it works and people love it and they come back for it. And it was just nice to see everyone coming in and there's like, I want to get a pork rib with my matzo ball soup. And it's like you can never get that at a Jewish deli, but you can here with us. So it's good to see.
How does that work? Is it like you wake up to a random email or news alert one day, or they kind of give you a heads up, or is it like, hey, someone nominated you, submit some supporting materials? Like, what's that process like?
No, we just got a call one day just saying, hey, some people came in, they tried your food and they loved it a lot. So we're gonna come back in. We're gonna try it again. So just keep doing what you're doing. So we looked at each other as a team and said, let's keep doing what we're doing. We love what we're doing, so it'll work if we keep doing it. And so it was nice because it made us, feel like what we're doing has a purpose. So it was good to see. It was good to see happy faces. People who never came in don't know what kind to expect, and they leave happy and say, "This is the greatest uh, fusion of two cultures I've ever seen, and it works so well together." So it was quite a thing to see.
Yeah, imagine like business probably shoots up substantially in the days and weeks afterwards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What it seems like team morale is helped by that as well. Would you say that's accurate?
Yes. Yes. Every day, you know, we're a very small group there. So every day we talk to each other constantly, saying, do we need to improve? Does this need a little work on? Is this what we want to serve that represents us? So it's good that, we're a small group, but we're a very same mindset.
And when they come in to do the, I guess, review, if you will, you have no idea that they're there or they don't announce themselves or they do or
Yeah, we don't know who they are when they come in. We still don't know who they are when they came in. So
which is really cool because that means like any average person could go and they're gonna get that level of quality and service, that that random person got.
correct. So, you have to serve every single person that comes in like it's them. So, which is what we do originally. So it's just good to know that our level of standard is as high as we can make it.
So we're, graciously being hosted here by Goodstock. Tell me about your relationship, with them.
Yeah, I was working at another barbecue joint and we were sampling uh brisket companies, purveyors. And I mean, I was one of the ones that championed Goodstock. I just tasted it and I was like, this is it. This is the product we need to go with. And we tried more and more and I said, nope, I think we found the one that's the one we need to get. That's gonna make our product the best and people are gonna really see it.
Obviously, taste is, paramount, but what are some of the other things when you're looking at meat quality and making a decision like that?
Yeah, so the way they cut their briskets, I'm not a big fan of the wide fat briskets. There is more of the thick but long style, and the back cap is on a good stock, just so nice to trim, so nice to render, so nice to put in the sausage. So and that has really made a big difference. Sometimes you get briskets and they don't look very good, especially the fat cap. And it's like, "Ah, I just don't even want to use this." But good stock has the three things that I look for is the thickness, the marbling, and, and the fat cap. And it's just beautiful that they do it right.
And I imagine I've always been curious about what that relationship looks like. Is there a feedback process there as well? Like maybe you notice something and you communicate that to them and they make changes, or is it not really like that? I'm just curious about what that process looks like.
I mean, yeah, we always have the Goodstock people come out all the time saying, "Are you happy? What was anything wrong? What can I do for you to make anything that you have concerns about better?" So it's nice that they ask us constantly, even though we can't really find anything wrong or bad that we get sometimes. So but it's just good the fact that they just don't be like, "Oh, we're great. We're not going to deal with you anymore." No, they come week after week. It's good that they talk, we got some cuts you want to try out. We got some special stuff for you. It's good that they're always there and always count on a good stock.
Yeah, really cool. See, it seems like a symbiotic relationship where both sides are being helped. One thing that I find amusing about the barbecue community is like a lot of other kind of communities, you guys sometimes become like celebrities, right? People know you for your style. They recognize that, hey, maybe you won a certain award or you're nominated for a certain award and you get, a following, if you will. Is that something you ever envisioned going into kind of what you're doing right now? And tell me a little more about that.
Oh, honestly, I don't even realize it or notice it sometimes. Kind of just keep the head down and just focus on the products and the food ahead. I mean, it's nice when I can go out and people say, "Hey, Mom Foods, I love you guys." It's always so nice to hear, or shake my hand, or it's good. But for the most part, just got to keep doing what you're doing.
Don't let it get to your head.
Yeah.
We kind of briefly touched on this, but, for like I'm a big golfer, right? And like you always, if you see a professional golfer, you're like, hey, what's the most common mistake amateurs make? So when it comes to home pit masters, what's one thing that maybe people, your friends or family that do, and you're always like, hey, don't do that. You may have heard about it, or it's a common misconception, but stay away from it.
Yeah. Especially home. It's too much. There's just too much rub, too much seasoning, too much sauce, too much little things. You really don't need any of that. I mean, there's a couple of things that you might say, "Oh, I like that. It works for me." But, you know, I would say after every cook, what can you take away from your process more than what can I add to it is a good advice.
Yeah. So less is more, basically, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. I will keep that in mind. What about sides? What are some go-to sides that you personally like or you make at home or you would, encourage?
I mean, I have always been a sucker for good mustardy potato salad. There's nothing more than nice, tangy potato salad with fatty brisket. It's just counters it beautifully with each other's perfect side. But I do love myself some cheesy squash. It's in the barbecue community, but still hasn't caught on as much as I thought it would. It's a great alternative to mac and cheese that everybody loves so much. I think it's a little bit better.
I've never had it. So it's squash and cheese and is it fried or what happens
No,
with it?
it's like a stewed squash with onions and processed cheese. The most American thing you can think of. So it's just, it's not as heavy as mac and cheese or it doesn't clump on you. It's just ooey gooey, deliciousness, and it's just tastes good because it's nice and vegetables in there.
I'm gonna have to try that out.
Yeah, it goes. It's light, so you eating all those heavy meats. So it's also another alternative for sure.
And then what are we drinking? What's your go-to drink with a meal?
Big Red for always. I mean, it's Big Red, and occasions I will definitely do sweet tea for sure. Yeah, I mean, in my perfect world, it would only be sweet tea or Big Red. Not even water is available. So it's just the perfect drinks.
I'm learning so much. The Big Red I've had, but never with a barbecue meal. So
Yeah.
another thing I've learned. So what's next for you all at Mom Foods? What's on the horizon? What's on the radar?
Honestly, we just try to keep it as simple as possible. So We're going to not do too much. We might, experiment with more sausages. But other than that, I mean, we're just trying to master the basics of the Jewish deli and the Central Texas barbecue. So you'll know every time you come in, we're focusing on those core uh items. So hopefully the next time you come in, it's just as good, if not better. So you can always count on that for sure. We're never gonna just stray away and work on something else.
But can't think of a better way to end it. What do you have planned for the rest of the day? You gonna explore the festival or?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk around, hopefully hit as much as I can out here. It's a lot of places, a lot of different styles of barbecue. Get people excited about tasting those. So I'm gonna hit all of them up.
Yeah, I'm jealous because I'm kind of stuck here. I have the honor of talking to you guys, but then I also can't go out there and whatnot. So maybe you can steal me a plate and bring it to me while I'm here.
I'll definitely put it underneath this table for you. See the
I'm gonna hold you through that. Hey, Chef Travis, thanks so much for joining us. You have an amazing story. Mom's food is amazing. Can't wait for those that haven't checked it out to go there. And thanks for spending some time with us at 512 Degrees and our first live podcast taping.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Please come check out Mum Foods, 5811 Mum Manor Road, Austin, Texas. Thank you guys.
See you there.
Thank you, man.